Femininity and unkindness goes together just as well as water mixes with oil. As most of you probably already know, water and oil does not mix. No matter how much you try to stir it, it's going to separate. And I truly believe that it is likewise with femininity and unkindness. It just does not go together. Hello beauties, and welcome to Gems and Pearls with Love. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Caitlin Clarice. So today guys, I'm going to be talking about kindness. It is just one of the few different characteristics that truly define femininity, especially biblical femininity. I don't really know much, and I don't really dive into divine femininity because I don't really know what that really is all about or what other people describe as femininity, but what I do focus on is biblical femininity. As you can probably tell, I put some effort in my appearance today. Last night I put some, things that curling rods in my hair so that I could have my hair curly today. I put on makeup, I put on an outfit. And you know what? There's a place for all that. That honestly, I believe is important how we present ourselves. And I can personally testify to the fact that when I put an effort in my appearance to look good, I honestly feel better. The last few days, I've actually been quite under the weather. I've been feeling kind of sick, so I've been spending a lot of time just kind of resting and not doing much. So as I felt a lot better this morning, really taking an effort to put that extra effort in my appearance really helped me to just feel more energized and ready and set for my day. When it comes to our appearance, that truly does matter, especially because it affects how we feel. So when it comes to the talk on how to look in a way that appears more feminine, I'm not knocking that at all. There's a place for that. However, what is the purpose? Like, all of what I maybe do to make myself look pretty means absolutely nothing if I have an ugly character. And if I'm going to be honest with you guys, unkindness is pretty ugly. Have you ever experienced like seeing somebody, meeting them for the first time, and you're thinking, wow, she's so pretty, and then she opens her mouth and the things that come out of her mouth, you're like it's just all of a sudden that beauty that you thought she had, it just doesn't look the same anymore. She just honestly doesn't even appear to be really pretty anymore, to be honest. As a parent, we talk to our children all the time about kindness, and I feel that that is something that is pretty typical for parents to speak to their children. Or even if you're not a parent in general, you're always telling children to be kind, share your toys. That's the kind thing to do. But how much do you hear us as adults talking about kindness? I don't know if it's just me, but I definitely don't see it very much. Why is that though? Is it because we just feel that as adults we just we should know better? We got this? Because if that's the case, I don't know where the misconception happened, because that is not the case. Matter of fact, I honestly see a lot of meanness and unkindness and rudeness a lot more common amongst adults than I do see kindness. Kindness is a biblical thing. It is one of the fruit of the Spirit. It is one of the things that are listed that define what love is. In Proverbs 31 verse 26, it says, "She opens her mouth with wisdom, and the teaching of kindness is on her tongue." I love the way the NLT puts it. It says that she gives instruction with kindness. Now, kindness is something that is for both male and female. Of course, as children of God, we are to be kind. As I said, it is one of the fruit of the Spirit, which we all have. But I truly do believe that as a woman, the way we express our kindness in the gentle and tender way that we ought to, in our feminine nature, to even be the nurturers that we are to be, looks a little bit different. Most likely by now, some of you guys may be familiar with that song, Savage. I don't even know if that's the name of it, but it goes, "I'm a savage, ratchet, bougie, whatever." I don't even remember, but you probably heard it, whether on the radio or on social media. Most of you probably have heard the song, and if you haven't, basically it's a song that talks about being a savage and bougie and ratchet and all these different things. That's what's kind of glorified in our society today, is being a savage. But do you know what it actually means to be savage? I'm gonna tell you guys. So, savage as a noun is a brutal or vicious person. I don't even really have to go that much further, but I'm going to. Let's just look at a few different words that are associated with savage. A brute, beast, monster, animal, a demon. I'm just going to leave that right there for a bit. As a child of God, we should not want to be associated with any of these things, much less God's daughters that are seeking to be feminine women, to be able to truly flow from the natural femininity that's within us. Let's talk a little bit about what kindness is not. Kindness does not mean that you cannot say no to things. Kindness does not mean that you're not allowed to have boundaries. Healthy boundaries is absolutely necessary for your sake, for your family's sake. Being kind does not mean that you cannot be firm. It does not mean that you cannot stand up against ill treatment or manipulation, whatever it is. It is not unkind to say, excuse me, I do not like this. Please do not do this anymore. It's not unkind to say, what you did bothered me. That is not unkindness. You can still confront problems and situations head on, but still be kind. Because what matters is how we go about it. I personally have never looked back on a situation where I dealt with it in a kind manner and have regrets and say, oh gosh, I wish I was meaner about that. No, not at all. But what I can say though is that I have looked back on situations where I was like, oh, I could have been kinder. I could have said that in a much better way. I've honestly observed that being like rude and mean or even just cold is something that people associate with like strength in a sense. In order to appear strong and confident, I had to have this kind of an attitude because like, I don't care what you think. So, I'm going to speak this way. I'm going to speak my mind. Or people would say, that's just how I am. I just tell it like it is. If that's how you are, that doesn't mean that's how you should stay. My dear, honey, love. If that's how you are, that doesn't mean that's how you should stay. Again, as we just talked about previously, doesn't mean that you cannot speak, it's like have hard conversations. Doesn't mean that you cannot hold your ground and be firm about things. But to have this sort of attitude where I'm just going to say in any way I feel like it, and I don't care if it hurts your feelings because that's just who I am and I'm speaking my mind, that is not what we're called to as ladies, as women of God, as children of God as a whole. We are going to mess up. We're going to fall. We're going to make mistakes. I myself do as well. As I said, I dealt with situations before and I look back at it and I'm like, ooh, I just wish I dealt with that better. There's a difference between that, realizing you made a mistake, even going and apologizing when you realize you made a mistake, versus having this overall attitude of the fact that this is just who I am. I'm just a rude person. Ladies, no. You, as feminine beings, we are naturally nurturers. And that doesn't mean mother. Sometimes we associate nurturing with mother. No. As a nurturer, we may nurture a plant. We may nurture our environment. We nurture ourselves. We nurture all those around us. That's who we naturally are as feminine beings. So to be unkind, you're not going to be able to nurture if we are being mean and rude and savage. If this is something you struggle with, there is no judgment. I believe that you should take the time to figure out what is causing me to regularly be unkind. What is causing me to struggle with just rudeness or being mean to others? Is it unhealed trauma, undealt with hurt that you have? Are you holding on to things that you haven't forgiven? Is there something that's caused you to build this this wall around yourself and your heart that makes you just cold so that you can keep everybody out and almost like try to have this sort of self-protection strategy? As most of us know, hurting people hurt people. Have you not accepted the love of God? Is there something that's caused you to not be at peace with yourself? When you are truly at peace with yourself and you've accepted, like truly, not just, oh yeah, I know God loves me, but truly internalize the love of God, it's like you want to pour out love to others. You're sure of yourself and you have that confidence. And that actually, and see, that's the thing, is the real confident people, the real strong people are ones that are kind. There are ones that are caring. They don't want to tear people down. They have no need to. So matter of fact, they do the contrary. Contrary to that, they actually build people up. Are you struggling with jealousy? Is it maybe a particular person or particular group of people that you are unkind to, and there's something you have to kind of deal with when it comes to your heart in terms of that? Are you lacking self-control, emotional maturity? Or maybe you've just fallen into this misconception, this deception that being cold or rude or savage and mean is what's going to help you to be strong, or I should say appear strong. Whatever it is, just remember, our Heavenly Father has his arms open, ready to come into your hearts and deal with those things and chisel at those hard parts. I actually spoke in a previous video about biblical femininity and what it's like. It's not something where you're supposed to be seeking or trying to find. I gave this analogy of, like, say for example, you pick up this big piece of dirt. It's like a round ball and it's just like dirt, and you're like, oh, okay, I have this round ball of dirt, and then you decide to just start hitting it and chiseling at it, and it starts to come apart, and you wash it and you chisel and you wash it and you do all that, and then at the end you realize that, oh my god, it's a beautiful diamond inside. That's what it is with our femininity, because you never actually really picked up a big thing of dirt or a ball of dirt. You actually picked up that diamond all along, but you couldn't see it. It needed to be revealed. There were things that caused it to be unseen. And I believe that's the way it is with our femininity as women. We all have it, but through life and through the things that society teaches and through all these different things, it has caused it to be hidden. So it's not really about finding our femininity or trying to seek to become feminine. It's more about trying to uncover what's already truly there deep within us. So you got to figure out what is it that's covering up your diamond. What is it that's around your diamond that's causing it to be unseen? Ladies, I'm going to say it again. We can do all we want, do all the beauty treatments, watch all the videos, read all the books that we want to try to be feminine or whatever the case is. But honestly, it all means nothing if we're not going to work on our characters. It honestly means nothing if we are not going to seek to be kind in how we speak to others, how we speak about others, how we treat others. That is where the true femininity lies. That is what truly matters. All right, ladies, that is all I have for you guys today. Please go ahead in the comments and let me know your thoughts on this topic. I would love to hear from you guys. Until next time, bye-bye. Let's talk a little bit about what femininity... No, not what femininity. All right, ladies, that is all I have for you today.